Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com. In this tutorial we're going to take a look at something called inheritance in C++. This is something which can get quite complicated, and most of the time you don't need the complicated stuff, and we're probably not going to cover the complexity of it in this introductory course, but it's important that we do look at it because it is an important part of C++. So let's create a class here. I'm going to define a couple of classes, and I'm going to create them both here just above the main function, just so that we can see them both in one place. So let's create a class called animal, and I'll give animal, let's just give it maybe one method. So we'll say public, and let's say void speak, and let's make speak do something. So I'm going to include I've got iStream included already actually, because I'm going to use cout. So let's say in here cout, let's make a generic sort of unhappy animal noise there, grr. So in my main class here I can create an animal like this. Animal, let's call it A, and of course I can call speak like this. So let's just run this, check that this is working. You never know. So it says grr. Now what if you've got an existing class and you want a new class that's similar to the old one but just has some extra functionality, or it just has a few things changed compared to the old class? And that's what inheritance allows you to do. So I'm going to create a class here called cat, and notice cat is a type of animal, and this is important with inheritance. So we're going to take classes and we're going to create child classes from them, or subclasses you can call them, and the subclasses are a type of whatever the so-called superclass is. So animal is going to be the superclass, cat is going to be a subclass, cat is going to be a type of animal. So let's say here class cat, and I'm going to say colon after the class name, public animal, and just put the brackets in there. So for the moment I'm not going to give cat any functionality, but because we put colon public animal after the class name here, that means that cat is basically the same as animal here. So let's have a look at that. We can say here cat and cat.speak, and we can run this. So cat also says grr. Now we can actually add new methods into cat that animal doesn't have. So let's say, for example, our generic animal, it can have all the functionality that any kind of generic animal should have, but we might want some specific things in cat, like what can a cat do that our generic animal can't? Well, let's say, for example, a cat can jump. Let's have a public and void jump, and let's just say in here cout cat jumping. Obviously we'll put some real functionality in here in a kind of real world example. So now we can call cat.jump. Let's run this. So cat, it still has the speak method of animal, but we've extended it and we've given it this extra method called jump. So although this is quite a small tutorial, I think I'm going to leave it there for the moment, and we'll carry on looking at this in the next tutorial. So to practice this, of course, just create a class and then create a subclass of that class. So remember, this is called a subclass, and we say that it extends cat, or it's inherited. The cat is a subclass, and we say that it extends animal, or we can say that it is inherited from animal. So cat is a subclass of animal, and we say that animal is the superclass of cat. So there's kind of a hierarchy in your mind, where animal is at the top here, and below it is cat. We could actually extend the hierarchy further. So remember, cat is a type of animal, and if we want to create a new subclass here, let's just do that actually. Let's say class, and now we need a type of cat. Well, what's the type of cat? Let's say tiger, and we can say tiger is a subclass of cat. We could give that its own method as well. Like, what can a tiger do that a cat can't? Let's say void attack antelope. Not many cats, not many house cats anyway, would attack a antelope, but a tiger certainly would have a go. So let's say attacking endler. And so now we could say tiger, tiger, and tiger's got all the methods that cat has. Like, we can say tiger.jump, we could say tiger.speak, and we could say tiger.attack antelope. Let's run this and make sure that it works. So there we go, we've got attacking from our tiger here, but cat doesn't have an attack antelope method. We can't say cat.attack antelope. It's not going to work. In fact, cat doesn't know anything about tiger here, and animal doesn't know anything about cat. But tiger, it is a kind of cat. It knows all about this class, and cat knows all about animal. So here's the superclass of cat. Cat is a superclass of tiger. Tiger is a subclass of cat. And tiger is a subclass of animal. And tiger is also an indirect subclass of animal, because like a tiger can do everything that an animal can do here. So we've got this like hierarchy going from animal, cat, down to tiger. So I really will leave it there. And to practice this, I'd suggest creating 3 or more classes and make one class extend the other. And try to think of an example, and a different example for yourself where that might make sense. You could think about, like, for example, a machine. A car is a type of machine, and a Fiat is a type of car, and so on. Something like that. Anything really. You could do it with plants, different types of people, or if you've got like a employee structure or whatever. Beginners often have this reaction to this, as I did when I started with this. Like, what use is it? Inheritance, and do you really use this in real programs? And the answer is absolutely yes. Not every program in C++ will use inheritance. I've seen very, very big programs that didn't use inheritance at all, but they weren't actually well-written programs in any case. In fact, a lot of C++ syntax, particularly by older programmers such as myself, is unduly influenced by C, which is what C++ was built on, and C didn't have classes at all. It just purely worked with functions. So have a go at that, define your own little class hierarchy, and we'll return to this a bit more in the next tutorial. So until next time, happy coding.